Good morning. It's Wednesday morning here in Minneapolis. Loved yesterday's session, talking more and meditating. Today a little more direct and to the point. I'm just going to settle in, and it's about a 20-minute meditation today. I have my day is front loaded. I have work starting early, and I have a lot of work to prepare for. So the nature of every day is different, but I am still carrying with me the thought of centering through joy in whatever it is that I am doing. Okay, so let's just settle in together. Alexa, shut down. Good morning, Kurt. So I was talking about joy yesterday, and it's, it's one thing to say like, oh, I'm just going to be happy and orient my life around joy. And then what happens is life and emotions and experience, they come up against you. Turbulence arises. And so the thing is to just soften at the point of tension. And it's practice. It's not like, oh, in some ways it can be like, I've made a choice, that choice governs me, and it becomes easier because it's a single-minded choice, not a discussion anymore. However, how to apply that to everything that arises is a process of learning. So learning how to soften and detach when conflict arises. And the book I've been reading, The Untethered Soul, suggests if you want to know what this experience is like, just don't do the thing you always do. So whatever that is, you probably know it. One of my teachers said, I could be the best therapist in the world. 2 thoughts. Know that you are worthy, and that thing that you're doing, stop doing it. So we all kind of know where our bottlenecks are. And most of our life is set up to avoid our fears. And if we could just walk through our fear, that's where we find our freedom. So there are different ways you can make a conscious choice to do something different and just notice yourself through that. And that gives you opportunity to practice kind of setting back a little and noticing you're still okay, you're still alive if you don't do the thing you always do. Also, when things arise and they come at you, you similarly practice just taking a back seat and watching what happens so that you aren't yanked around so much by it. And living at your edge is the place for growth, and the edge is uncomfortable, but the great freedom and relief is on the other side of the edge. And I have experienced that many, many times. I've done many, many things that were way beyond my comfort zone, and I've always experienced great relief on the other side. And there's panic and fear and anxiety. That is just panic and fear and anxiety. And learning to name that and let that go is one thing. And then there's good, scary energy, which is the scary energy that's around growth. And so also learning to kind of sift that a little bit, because right before we grow or change or evolve, every part of our being screams for us to stay the same, because we are wired to stay safe. And that isn't always comfortable either, but it can feel more comfortable in the moment than evolving or changing. So I've done it so many times in so many obvious ways. I'm now working with some subtler thresholds. I mean, maybe in some ways they're obvious, but they aren't yet fully obvious to me. Except for yesterday, it felt obvious to just remember to realign with joy. And for a while, I have felt it's obvious that I need to set down judgment. So it's like I used this judgment tool to blast all these challenges in my life. And they helped me. It helped me grow. It helped me get to where I am today, which is for sure more peaceful than other stages of my life. But now I'm still coming up against some of my demons and my emotions and my judgment. And I have known for a while that I need to drop judgment and that it has something to do with surrender. And something is like shaking loose right now where it's beginning to make more sense to me how to both organize myself and how to surrender. And it doesn't necessarily mean I've tasted the fruit on the other side of all of that. I just might know what direction to orient myself right now. And I've been through it so many times with so many other stages of my development. So I also feel like it can be somewhat easy seemingly for me to help someone figure out where they're stuck and what they might need to move through. And it's usually more of a perception change and a narrowing of focus, because we all have little bottlenecks. And think about your fear, the things you're trying to avoid, or the things you always react to, or the things you do to stay comfortable that don't really make you comfortable. And then of course, I just hold space and I'm a witness, and within each of us, like, you don't need me, you don't need a book, you don't need the other teacher, but sometimes we all can use a little help, a little outside perspective, a little inspiration and motivation. And all of the people that I pay attention to have people that they pay attention to. So wherever you are on your path, grab your tools, grab your help, and then you can keep moving forward. Okay, so this was shorter today. I have a big work day to get to. There's lots going on with all the types of jobs I do opening back up. And so I have a really full day and a lot of learning and a lot of unknown. So I was sort of asking myself, oh, am I on my edge? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on my edge, because I don't even know what my life looks like next week. So I'm just gonna like sit back and take this all in and just keep being where I am and being brave and trying not to bring unnecessary extra fear and anxiety to what's going on. Okay, have a fantastic day. Namaste.